Coach Watson, we don't necessarily have to go through the scouting report and personnel as much as we did the first time around here with Missouri State, but the overtime win for Southern, now they're going to try to turn around and make it 2 wins in a row. And you look at this Missouri State team, at least give them a ton of credit. I mean, coming back in that game after falling behind by as many as 13 around the 5 minute mark, the Bears themselves showed a lot of grit late in that game in Banterra.
They sure did. Starting by Zaxon King, who was that guy that Southern's had trouble with. The guy that is an under 10 point a game guy that you get so locked in on Des White and Brady and Osei Bonsu and their three leading scorers that Southern's had that trouble throughout the year of letting a guy that doesn't score much take off. And those big threes down 10 by King late in that game just kept giving Missouri State life. Southern continued to struggle with the zone defense that they saw. They couldn't get good scoring angles, and then Missouri State would change things up. But especially with King and Chase Martin, the coach's son, who's a grad transfer with mechanical engineering degree. I mean, he knows a good shot. If he doesn't, he should know. He's been tested on that in more ways than one. But his big shot to tie it up late in the game after a big steal and an inbounds pass against a press, they showed a lot of fight. Very impressed by the Bears by hanging around because they could have given up by 7 o'clock. That could have been enough for them.
We'll see what happens with Des White, Makai Valentine. Valentine left the game with what appeared to be somewhat of a broken finger of some sort. Hope he heals as soon as possible for the Bears. And Des White left the game as well. So we'll see what their availability will be come Wednesday night. But even without those two, Coach Watson, water areas for Southern, it's not that Saturday was perfect by any stretch of the imagination. What are going to be areas of focus for Coach Nagy and his group come Wednesday night?
Well, the first focus is Southern hasn't won a road league game yet. And you talk about being hungry. Obviously, Missouri State's hungry, but sometimes when this thing goes along, there's almost more pressure playing at home than there is playing on the road. But for Southern, the pressure of getting that win is off their back a little bit. But still, the hunger is let's go get a road win, a true road win. And that should be factor number one. It's got to be done at the same keys that happened on Saturday night. They've got to rebound. Southern rebounded okay, but it wasn't dominating. They've got to dominate the boards. They've got to reduce the number of offensive rebounds by every opponent, certainly Missouri State, because they're a team that they don't shoot well either consistently. They score well off offensive rebounds. The game on Saturday started in two possessions, Missouri State getting 4 offensive rebounds. That's not the formula for success. So Southern's got to really be very determined in that area. Secondly, they've got to get to those 3-point shooters. And that means that you've got to anticipate the skip pass or the ball movement to get close out from help side to ball side, because that's what happened. That's why King got going. The ball would start on the left side. It got reversed to the right side, and Southern was late. It happened to several of the guys. I won't point them out individually, but you've got to be moving to close out the shooter. So when you hear coach say taking guys off the line, he means you've got to close out. So they've got to do something rather than just have their feet set, lift and shoot. They've got to drive it or make a second pass. Southern's got to be just got to be so much better at that. And then, what happens to Southern again in the help side is they tend to relax. I mean, Southern can't relax defensively. Regardless of how you're playing, you've got to stay in position, see ball man. The old ball you man principle that anyone that played the game from junior high all the way through the NBA guys instinctively know ball you man defense. You can never just see where the ball is. As soon as you do, every good, smart player or average player is going to cut behind your back and usually get an offensive rebound or a basket for a layup.
As you mentioned, Coach Watson, Southern 0-3 so far on the road in league play. Those 3 road games, of course, Northern Iowa, Belmont, and Illinois State. Southern has lost 4 consecutive road games in the Valley dating back to last year, which they ended the year losing to Bradley on the road. And then, of course, they've lost their first 3 league games this year. So we'll see if Southern can get it flipped. On Wednesday night, we will talk to you from the Great Southern Bank Arena. Tip-off will be at 6 p.m. Wednesday which means our pregame coverage will start at 5 o'clock across the Saluki radio network. We will talk to you all Wednesday for the final time as conference opponents from Springfield, Missouri. For the coach, Rodney Watson, I am Luke Martin saying so long, Saluki Nation. We will talk to you Wednesday night. Go Dogs!